Should you tell your kids about your money? Should they know about your estate plan, your wealth management plan? Should they know about your investments? At what point in time should they know, and how much? Today's episode, we're going to journey through the experience of a client family meeting and what you could do to make sure your family stays on top. There's been a generational debate between transparency, privacy, what the kids should know, what they shouldn't know. The problem is we've seen way too many families really have chaos, confusion, disruption, infighting, and it all could have been avoided. At the end of the day, communication and having a family communication plan, it matters. Families that really win when it comes to getting wealth to the next generation and the next generation and the next generation successfully, they all communicate. What does effective communication look like? Effective communication can look different for a lot of families, but here's the considerations. How old are the kids? The maturity of the kids. Who did those kids marry? What kind of decisions are they making? Are they going to have leadership positions in your estate or financial affairs? Are they going to be purely beneficiaries? Are we concerned because they have special needs, or maybe somewhere in your downline there's a special need? All of these things have to be considered. But in the end, my encouragement to you is that having a family communication plan, having a family meeting is one of the best things you can do. I'm a Christian, and one of my beliefs is that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children and his children's children. Now, that's not just talking about money. That's talking about leaving your family in a better position when you're gone, not a worse position. It is money, but it's legacy, it's family name, it's values. And so that's why communication really matters. I've conducted hundreds of family meetings. And what I can tell you is I've never seen a family meeting happen where the kids or the grandkids or other valued family members involved were not super appreciative. Now, some of that is how you conduct the meeting. Some of it is in what you share in the meeting, and you go into a meeting understanding some of the concerns up top. Having a coach or an advisor or someone of wise counsel in your corner to navigate a pre-meeting is really important. That pre-game plan where you know what the right hand and the left hand are doing and what they're going to say and how they're going to communicate. And if there is that one kid, grandkid, or in-law involved, you know how to address that from the top, from the beginning. Story time. Let's talk about the Roberts family. The Roberts family is a family that, they are tight, well bonded. They love each other a lot. This is a family of 4. There is a brother and a sister that have a great relationship. However, they mostly see each other at this point in time in their life over the holidays and birthdays, things like that. The daughter is married, but they have no plans on having children. Their real love is in their pets and being very involved in animal rescue. The son is in a very technical industry. He's super, super smart, and he and his wife have done an amazing job accumulating wealth and making really wise financial decisions. The mom and dad have accumulated a lot of money. They've hit the 2 commas. They're probably worth somewhere in the ballpark of about $8 million today, including their real estate, retirement portfolios, cash on hand. Now the question is, what's next? How do they effectively communicate to their kids while they are very close? The parents grew up in a generation where when it came to talking about money, you were tight-lipped. That was a 4-letter word. You did not talk about money in the family. With as wonderful as these kids are, they're dealing with some real cultural battles, some mindsets that they have to break, and they did. The Roberts conducted a very successful family meeting. We put together a family agenda, identifying the strengths that each of the kids brought to the table, why they were valued, and what roles they would play when it came to the estate plan. We never addressed how much money the parents had. We never addressed how much in the way of 2 commas there were, but I'm sure the kids had a good idea that their parents had made some good decisions. We established borders and boundaries in our pre-game planning, and it was effective, and it was so valued. The kids were so appreciative at the end of the meeting, and they asked some really, really good questions, and mom and dad were quite surprised at some of the questions, but they left feeling confident that their kids were going to be able to effectively pick up and take over in the event of the incapacity or death. That is a successful family meeting. Storytime part 2. Let's talk about the Janies. Incredible family, entrepreneurial. They started multiple businesses, sold them successfully. The kids knew that there was a lot of success. Unfortunately, the two children, brothers, one, they did not really get along well. And it really wasn't at the root of everything the brothers' fault. It was their wives didn't like each other. So the problem was the in-laws. Do you know the difference between in-laws and outlaws? Outlaws are wanted. You're welcome. So now we have disruption in this family that was at one time close-knit, but now the brothers do not get along well. They don't socialize as much, and it's really down to their spouses not liking each other. So what's mom and dad to do? We pre-game planned. They still needed the family communication plan. They still needed the family meeting. We just had to navigate new circumstances. So what did we do? We addressed some strong boundaries as to what we would address about the estate plan in such a way where both brothers felt respected, but we did not bring their spouses into the communication. We did not bring them into the hows or the whys that mom and dad wanted to accomplish, what their objectives were. The meeting started strong. But eventually it broke down. One brother talked about another brother's wife, and the other brother retaliated. In the end, we determined that the brothers were not going to be able to work effectively, even in trying to keep their spouses out of it. And we decided as a family, it would be best to use a trusted third party. In this family's instance, it was an uncle and a trust company serving as co-trustees. The uncle, because he was an attorney and he had a great mind for law and how things would play out with the estate plan. And then the trust company to make sure everything was fair and balanced. And if the brothers did interfere with the plan, now we had a trust company involved to take over. You see, these two case studies, they're different from one another. Your family dynamics in our audience, you're different from other audience members. But it doesn't mean you can't have a successful outcome as a family. I want to encourage you. Consider a family communication plan. Consider having a family meeting. Put it as one of your objectives for 2026. I promise you that is going to be one of the most effective and best things you can do to ensure Uncle Sam stays out of your affairs, you keep the bureaucratic judges out of your stuff, and you keep your family winning. I'm Nick Yeomans, your retirement coach. Stay coachable.
Investment advice offered through Merit Financial Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor.